Hi friends, I am here to read you the next two chapters in Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. We are going to read chapters 26 and 27 today. Very clever, said Charles, pulling another silhouette card out of a book. This cover had been easy to find. It was the third on the top shelf of the stack picks display. I'm going to show you guys that's what he found on his card. The image on the front was a bright yellow yield sign. The title, Universal Road Signs by renowned trafficologist Abigail Rose Painter. Charles had found the matching book in the 300s room on the second floor. The 300s were all about social sciences, including things like commerce, communications, and, ta-da, transportation. The image also fit nicely with the pictogram he had found in the 700s room in the book called The Empire Strikes Back. That baseball book was the first cover on the second shelf in the display case, and had given Charles a card with a classic pose of an umpire calling an out. Reading the images from left to right, then down, just like you'd read a book, Charles knew he was on the right track. The traffic signs book gave him a walk, and the umpire gave him an out. Put the two pictures together, and he had walk, out. Clearly, if he could find all 12 silhouettes, the staff picks display would tell him how to walk out of the library. Although he had absolutely no idea what the first image he had found of the quarterback tossing a pass had to do with escaping the library, not yet anyway. 3 down, 9 to go, said Charles, winking up at the closest security camera. And Mr. Lemoncello, if you're watching, may I just say that you are an extremely brilliant man? Charles had never sucked up to a video camera before. He figured it was worth a shot. Maybe Mr. Lemoncello would send him a bonus clue or something. Instead, when Charles stepped out of the 300s room, somebody sent him Andrew Peckelman. Somebody sent him Andrew Peckelman. The googly-eyed library geek was sputtering mad as he rushed down the steps and stomped around the second-floor balcony. Stupid library, stupid Lemoncello, stupid Sphinx and Sekhmet. Why so glum, Andrew? Charles called out. Because this game stinks. Mr. Lemoncello just sent a bunch of holograms hurling hieroglyphics after me. He could put somebody's eye out with those things. Really? With a hologram? Hey, they're made with lasers, aren't they? Indeed. Say, speaking of hieroglyphics, where might I find a book about picture languages? Ha! Why should I help you? Because Kyle Keeley is working with Hakimi Hughes and Sierra Russell. I imagine it's only a matter of time before your friend Miguel Fernandez joins their team, too. Miguel isn't my friend, and besides, I'm better at navigating my own way through a library than he'll ever be. I know. That's why I want you on my team. Really? Charles smiled. Kids like Andrew Peckelman were so easy to manipulate. Oh, yes. Work with me, and I guarantee you the world will know that you should be the head library aide at Alexandriaville Middle School. The 400s, blurted Peckelman. Pardon? That's where you'll find the books on hieroglyphics and all kinds of languages. If you want secret codes, those are in the 600s room, the 650s to be exact. Charles shot out his hand. Welcome to the team, Andrew. Oh no, welcome to Team Charles, Andrew. The new teammates stepped into the 400s room. For some reason, it was pitch dark and smelled like pine trees. Bienvenida, bienvenu. Witami. Kuikaribisha. Welcome, boomed a voice from the ceiling speakers. This is the 400s room, home of the foreign languages. Here, Charles and Andrew, you can learn all about your American heritage. A bank of spotlights thumped on. Charles and Andrew were face to face with a row of 4 featureless mannequins. An overhead projector beamed a movie onto dummy number 2, turning it into a perky woman who looked like a flight attendant. Hello and welcome to Your American Heritage. I'm Debbie. Let's begin your voyage. That's okay, said Charles. We're rather busy. Let's begin your voyage, the mannequin repeated. Charles sighed. Obviously, there was no way to turn this silly display off. You might as well speed things along by telling the dummy what it wanted to hear. Fine, but can we go with the abridged version? We're in a bit of a rush. Yeah, added Andrew. We have to escape before noon tomorrow. The woman, whose body remained frozen while a movie made her face and costume spring to life, reminded Charles of the graveyard statues from the Haunted Mansion hayride at Disney World. While we research your family tree, she said, please enjoy this short and informative film. Is this part of the game? Andrew whispered to Charles. Possibly. Pay attention for any bonus clues. Okay, what do they look like? Who can ever say? A screen behind the life-size dummies leapt to life with all sorts of scratchy images of people huddled together on the deck of a boat near the Statue of Liberty. For decades, narrated the ceiling voice, public libraries have proudly served America's newest citizens, the immigrants who flocked to these shores yearning for the freedom to build their own American dreams. Charles wasn't really interested in this kind of stuff. His ancestors were all Americans. The only language they spoke was English. Yes, the libraries where many new arrivals journey first. To learn their new homeland's language, to keep in touch with the world that they left behind, to search for the gainful employment that will make them res- productive residents of their newly adopted home. The movie dissolved into blackness. Thank you for your kind attention, chirped the cheerful Debbie. We have completed your American family tree. Let's meet your first American ancestors. Two mannequins sprang into illuminated life, both of them dressed in traditional Thanksgiving pilgrim costumes. I know who they are already, said Charles. That's John Chiltington and his wife, Eleanor. They came to Plymouth Colony on the Mayflower. Can we move to Andrew's family, please? Of course, said Debbie. The mannequins quickly went through Andrew Peckelman's ancestry. Apparently, the family name had originally been Pickleman because they made pickles. After a prolonged parade of pickle people, the dummies took on the guise of Andrew's most famous ancestor, a guy in horn-rimmed glasses and a tweed sports coat named Peter Paul Peckelman. I appeared on the TV game show Concentration in 1968, he announced, and I won a room full of furniture and a wood paneling for my rumpus room. Charles smiled. He knew the TV game show Concentration was very similar to Mr. Lemoncello's phenomenal picture word puzzler, one of the games he had picked up at the toy store. Peter Paul Peckelman's claim to fame was further confirmation that piecing together the picture puzzle would show Charles how to escape from the library. He'd been right. The dummies had just given him a bonus clue. Chapter 27. Excited by the sudden appearance of a second bonus card, Sierra read it out loud. 2 plus 2 can equal more than 4. Put 2 and 2 together and you'll be closer than before. Akimi raised her hand. Yes, said Sierra. Do you realize that Miguel here isn't on our team? Oh, right. Sorry. Miguel turned to Kyle. You guys are a team? Yep. Do you want to join? Maybe. I'm not sure. Check back with me later, man. No problem, said Kyle, and he fist thumped his chest. Miguel fist thumped his. They were flashing each other peace signs when Sierra said, I think it means we should all play together as a team. Remember what it said on the fountain down in the lobby? Knowledge not shared remains unknown. Maybe, said Miguel. Like I said, let me get back to you guys. I'm working on a few angles of my own, flying solo. Sure, no problem. Kyle was about to do a whole fist, chest, bump, peace sign thing again when he had a brainstorm. Miguel, quick question. What's on your library card? Miguel shrugged. My name and the number 1? Anything else, like on the back? Nothing really, just a couple of books. 2? Yeah. What are their titles? Miguel bit his lip. I don't want to say. Because you think they might be clues? Not saying what I might or might not be thinking, bro. Kyle nodded. There are 2 different books on the back of everybody's library card, said Akimi, thinking out loud. Put 2 and 2 together and you'll be closer than before. The book titles are some sort of clue. My books are, Akimi. Kyle shook his head and nodded toward Miguel. Right, sorry, my bad. Okay, Miguel, said Kyle. If and when you decide to team up with us, you can show us the 2 books on your back of your card and we'll show you all of ours. We'll also split the prize 4 ways. Deal? Deal. Come on, guys, Kyle gestured toward the exit. Where are we going? Asked Sierra. Kyle dropped his voice. The Electronic Learning Center. You want to play video games? Asked Akimi. Now? Seriously, Kyle, we may need to rethink your status as team captain. I don't want to play video games. I want to check out the discard pile. Huh? The cards the players who went home early dumped into that goldfish bowl. I'm coming with you guys, said Miguel. I've been thinking about those extra cards too. Fine, said Kyle. Whatever. When they entered the game room, they saw Clarence, his arms folded across his chest, genie style. He was standing guard in front of the discard pile. May I help you? He asked. Yeah, said Kyle. We want to check out the cards in the bowl. Sorry, said Clarence. You can't have them. But, said Mr. Lemoncello, his face suddenly appearing on every video screen in the room, you can win them. Dressed in a polka-dotted bow tie and snazzy jacket like a game show host, Mr. Lemoncello had one arm resting on a slender plexiglass podium. Behind Dr. Zinchenko, all decked out in a sparkly red mini dress, looked like the models that point at prizes on TV. Are the four of you ready to play? Let's do a deal? When Mr. Lemoncello said that, he pushed a big red button in his podium. A pre-recorded studio audience whistled and cheered and applauded. Let's do a deal, asked Kyle. Let's do a deal, asked Kyle. My first game ever to be turned into a TV show, brought to you by Lemon Pledge. Dr. Zinchenko started singing, Lemon Pledge, very pretty, put the shine down, lemon good. Thank you, Dr. Z, said Mr. Lemoncello, bopping the button to make the audience cheer again. Now then, kids, here's the deal. Solve one simple picture puzzle, and you win, you four win the 5 library cards in the bowl. And if we lose, simple. Each of you loses his or her library card and adds it to the discard bowl for our next lucky contestant to try and win. He banged the red button again. The audience cheered exactly the same way they cheered before. Kyle turned to the others. What do you say, guys? Let's go for it, said Akimi. Sierra nodded. Miguel? I'm in, bro. You're joining our team? Absolutely. They knocked knuckles to seal the deal. Mr. Lemoncello must have whacked his button again because the Can Studio audience started cheering. Kyle wondered what the sound effects would be if he and his friends lost their library cards by playing a Let's Do a Deal. Probably groans and weeping and lots of weeping.